Hi. So there's been a lot of development since the last time I posted a video. Had another big setback while I was busy recovering from the first setback, but I have now begun to recover from that one. So let me tell you what's going on. This has been a really rocky project lately. So these are all the things I had to do to recover from my big problem. And I got them all done. Everything was fixed. So I went to test everything in line again. And I brought the electric motor up to full power. Well, let me show you what happened. So this was the major problem I had. I had this motor kicking over with the full 76 volt feed, and I tried out all of the different gears, and everything was working great. I was turning this thing over, it was well balanced, there were no issues, and I tested first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, tested reverse, just briefly because I didn't want to spin it out of control. Was testing everything again. I was like checking the state of the batteries as it went through its paces to see how much it was drawing, and I was getting quite pleased. And all of a sudden I started hearing some grunchiness inside my Volvo transaxle, which quickly increased. I shut everything down and took to turning the thing over with a wrench just to see if I could feel anything, and I could feel some resistance. And at one point I pushed it a little harder and it spun, but it went. I heard a plink noise inside here. So something inside my transaxle went south. This transmission is done. So anyways, at that point I was truly in despair. I got online and started checking for used transmissions. The Volvo M56 transaxle is a very good transaxle, and they are supposedly bulletproof, but anything can break. And when they do break, they're not really serviceable. Apparently, you could send them back to Volvo, but in general, you couldn't even get the bearings and synchros for the thing for rebuilding them. I looked and looked. I was toying with the idea of trying to rebuild it myself, opening the thing up, even though I didn't relish it. Started looking around for another transaxle. They are available, but they're very expensive, like, you know, $1,000, $1,200 if they're out of a known good car by a reputable wrecker. There were a few around that were cheaper, but I could end up in the exact same boat as this one where it's got a bad synchro or a bad bearing. It's my guess is what's going on with it. So I didn't know what to do. And then I found another car. I found a 1999 Volvo S70 with the M56 transmission already in it. Has a clutch, it's a manual transmission car, and it had a messed up engine. It's got a bad cylinder, so that engine is on its way out. Well, guess what? I don't care about the state of the engine. I was able to get it on over to my other workshop, bought the car for a song, and all of this, the adapter plate, the mounting plate and everything, should just slide right on that car when I pull the engine out. Pull the engine out, slide the motor in, put the batteries in the trunk, run all the wiring, and we got something to play with. So, I mean, of course it'll wind up being infinitely more complex than that in practice, but in theory, this whole project may have actually gotten compressed. I may be able to get my minimum viable function much sooner than I was expecting, because I'm not going to have to put a new transmission in an automatic transmission car and put in a shifter and all that. It's a manual transmission car already. And also, because it has a functioning clutch, phase 2, I'll be able to implement gears. So depending on what the RPM range of this motor is, I might be able to just shift through first, second, third, fourth, fifth and get to highway speed, same as you do with an engine. Or maybe I just go first, third, fifth, or whatever. I'll have to play with it. The point is the car is going to be a way more flexible and drivable in phase 2. I'm just going to go for function at first. You know, just bolt this off of this thing, scrap it or sell it, throw it in that new car, and go. So that's the status. Had some more bumps, but we're recovering, and so far for not a lot of money, so that's kind of nice. Hi, here I am over at the Workshop East in front of the new, well, the 1999 S70 T5. You know, it's already got the manual transmission already installed. So I've just begun the process of fixing stuff, and oh my gosh, is there a ton of stuff to fix. This car was not well taken care of the last couple of years. I think it probably started off well taken care of, but it's needs a lot of work now just to get it up to snuff. I did sell the white car, so that's found a new home, and probably the car is happy because it's not going to be gutted. This one is eager to be gutted because the engine has got one bad cylinder. I haven't bothered to double check the work on that engine. I should probably just do compression just to see how bad it was. You know, it might be worth something, might be worth salvaging. But from what they told me, one cylinder was down to 40 pounds. The others were at 140. So something's seriously wrong with it. I was actually quite impressed with how powerful and fast this car was. I had to drive it in from the suburbs about 16 miles to get it here. And, you know, with one bad cylinder, the thing was really quick. I was babying it, and I was still impressed with the acceleration. So when this car was new, it was a monster. It probably won't ever be a monster again, at least maybe sometime down the road when I get enough batteries on board. But for now, it's going to be given a new lease on life, and it's kind of a sharp car. So be posting more soon, and talk to you later.